All right, here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to Live with Prima. This is Cari Fennell, and today we're going to make some really cute little shaker cards. And what I wanted to do was demonstrate and show you our new confetti dies on these really sweet little cards. And I did a little bit of recycling to make my shakers. And also the Heaven Sent collection as well. So it's just a really sweet little collection. I had it on my table. But I also want you to keep in mind that anything we use can be implemented with any paper collection, that you want. Even some of the new ones coming out, like we have Sweet Peppermint and Rosy Bell. So just keep that in mind. So this is basically showing you how the dies work and how you can put some cards together, hopefully easily. And like I said, I did a little bit of recycling, so you can see, I don't know if you can see that plastic, it's leftover packaging, and I'll show you exactly what I used. This is just a little mini card. And this one I was telling everybody earlier, before I went live, I made last night. It was just kind of sitting on my table, all these scraps. So I used something flatter. If you can see, it's flat, but I still used Prima packaging for it. So, and then you open the card and that sweet little guy is right on the inside. So I think I went a little crazy with adding stuff to the inside of this one because I felt like I wasn't adding enough to the other ones. And so there you go. Okay. We may not get through all 4 cards, but I'm going to do my very, very best. Oh, I'm sorry you had a problem logging in. Okay, well, hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy the show and get logged in and see what we have. Okay, so for summer 2016, this summer, we just released these confetti dies. So the confetti dies are 4x6, and they come in packaging like this, but there's a reusable envelope in here. Just peel the packaging off. And I know it's easier said than done. It's on there pretty good. But look at this cool little envelope with a snap closure and little holes to put it in a binder for storage. I wish that Prima would come out with a bunch of these just for all of the other dies that we make. So here's the circles. Here are the circles. And you can see they come in all like various shapes and sizes. This is the circle die, like I said. So it is a thin die, and I'll show you exactly the sandwich that I made using these. Ooh, just ran that. Okay, so we have circles. This one is a variety pack, so there's like all kinds of circles and hexagons and squares and triangles. So you can kind of get a feel for that. Okay. And my poor circle packaging just went down the tubes. This one's called geometric. So this has like kind of funky little shapes, like geo shapes. And you can see the variety that this will come with as well. So, what better way to use up all your paper scraps, and things and get ready for maybe a party or, not just shaker cards, but just about anything your heart desires. These are flowers. See that? So these are going to come out like this. So they're slightly embossed, and then they have a cutout in the center of each little flower. And you can see you can get tons on one sheet. We also have stars, and the stars I did use today, or I will use today. And then we also have the hearts. The hearts are especially cute, and you can see, take it out, you can see those that come. So you get quite a few. You get quite a few out of one run through on your machine. All right, and I love that they come in something that is easy to store. So, we need these for Julie Nutting Dolls too. I am going to say that I'm going to tell Prima that we should do that to make your own little binders. And to be honest, I even think that these would fit inside planners. So, you could, I don't know, if you wanted to plan a party or something and you know, you wanted to store them in your planner. Just, I don't know. You know, the possibilities are really endless. So I'm going to put the other ones away that we're not using. So the hearts are 587109 and the stars are 587123. So tell your, you know, your stores if you're interested in getting these, because I just think for shaker cards and, like I said, decor, it's going to be fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to get out my Big Shot. And I wanted to show you the formula that I used for this. So I have, let's see if I can even pull it apart. I have a magnetic platform, okay, and then I have this precision base plate. So the precision base plate is something that if you were like a member of the Live with Prima Facebook group page, we were all discussing what's the best to use with your real thin dies, and someone said you have to get this precision base plate. So it comes in, it's by Sizzix, and it comes in a package like this. I bought two. I don't know why I bought two, but I bought two. You only really need one. And as you can see, my magnetic plate is like really holding onto this, so it's like one big sandwich. Okay, so I have that. Oh wait, let me line it up a little bit better, guys. Sorry. It was lined up perfectly. Okay. And then I have just the standard plate, the clear plate. So that's all I need for this, for these real pretty little confetti dies. Okay, so magnetic plate, precision base plate, and then a clear, just the clear regular plate that you would normally use. Okay, so what I used too was our gold vellum. You can see it's kind of shiny and shimmery and real pretty. And Prima's gold vellum packs are 584306. So you're going to grab a sheet of vellum. I just think the vellum is especially cute, but to be honest, you guys could use you know, leftover scrapbook papers and stuff. Turn off autofocus, it's getting wonky. Okay, sorry. I knew it might. Okay, it's off. Autofocus is off. Okay, so I got the cutting part facing up, and then I'm going to put my vellum sheet over it, and then I'm going to put my clear plate, and then I'm going to run it through. I know, I'm sorry, I'm moving around so much. Okay, see, even some of the little hearts started coming off. And you know what too, I think this packaging is wonderful. If you have leftover confetti that you don't need, you can stick it in that little sleeve. So I'm just going to peel it off. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to peel it right off. And all of these little hearts will come popping out. Now, you can leave it in the die and then use like the little, I have a spellbinder brush where you can just run that handy dandy little tool over the die and it gets all the little pieces out. Or you can just start manipulating your piece and they all just start coming out like this too. So you don't really need the brush if you don't want, but the brush is nice if you want to do that. So, and you can see what it looks like. So look how cool this negative is. You could even use this as like an element on your card. Yep. So I'm sorry if the screen kept going blurry before. I think it was the autofocus, and the autofocus is not very nice sometimes. Okay, so all those little hearts are all over the place. So you have confetti. So these are great for like even weddings if you wanted to sprinkle these little hearts, you know, in the centers of your tables or what have you. Okay, so that's how they work, and you get a ton. All right, so actually I have a little plastic bag here where I'm going to keep them all in. So I'm going to put them in here for now so I don't lose a ton of them. I know there's going to be hearts all over my floor, so okay. So I wanted to show you how that worked and show you exactly how cute and cool those dies are. And like I said, use your leftover scrap pieces of paper And that's a great way to use up all your little scraps. Okay, so if you have any questions about the dies, let me know and try to answer questions as I move along here, because I would like to, move on. Yeah, there's little hearts everywhere. Like a million little hearts just came out. Okay, and here's what the stars look like on the vellum. Hopefully you can see. So really cute. And I even ran these through with watercolor paper and made little white hearts. So that was kind of cool. All right, so let's start with our first card. Now, do you remember I was telling you I used some Prima packaging? Well, let's say you take out your mechanicals and you store them in a bin or something, because that's normally what people do, is they take them out of their packaging. Because once you open these, like, it's really, really hard to keep anything contained. I'm just going to move these off to the side. So that leaves me with 4 little circles, and they're pretty good size, right? So just look at packaging a little bit differently than you normally would. Oh, hold on, my dehumidifier just oh, sorry. It's that time of year where it's real humid, so we keep it going in our basement. Okay, so this will have you looking at packaging a little bit differently, and I just love these little circles. So I'm just not even worried about the leftover stuff that is sticking out on the side, because that will be cut off. So now I have 4 little circle pieces, totally perfect. Okay, I'm going to take the camera and just move it down now so that we can get a little bit closer to what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. So hopefully that'll be a little bit better. All right. Now, here's the formula I came up with. So let's start with the little card that looks like this guy here. So you can see the bubble on there, right? And this is our Prima die. And I have little fun little guys, behind it and everything. So that's what we're going to work on next. And I have some stuff cut ahead. So this is from, like, these little journal cards, these 3x4 journal cards are just precious. Now, the size and everything is made mainly for project life or pocket page scrapbooking, things like that. But I think that the 3x4 cards are perfect for just about anything, like using in a mini album, you making a little tag, and of course on cards. And they are 2-sided, so as you go through this little pad, you're going to start to see, the texture and the pattern on the back of each card, and then we just flip through. So these are really fun. So what I did is I took this little card, which I think is so cute, and this is where my circle punches come in handy. Now, if you don't have a circle punch, you can use your circle die cuts or whatever. So I love my Marvy punches. So these you can get just about anywhere. And I use them all the time. Like, I've been addicted to these things for years. So I'm going to position the cute little people right there in my punch. Okay, and I can save this other piece for later because it's got a pattern side, so I can make a little strip out of that or something. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is make a circle like this. So a circle like this will fit over the blister pack, and that's going to help me build and clean up the edges, and I'll show you exactly how I did that. So you want to take a piece of paper, and so this is a 2-inch circle punch, and I believe this one is 2.5. Pretty sure it is 2.5. So what I do is I punch out the 2-inch circle first. Okay, so I make that hole. So this is going to be much easier to do rather than trying to punch out the big one and then punch out a little one in between. And actually, I have a scalloped edge one, which I think would be super cute. So I'm going to switch to that one. So I'm going to just kind of center it right in that punch so you can see that I've got that circle perfectly in the middle of where I want it. Ooh, that's a powerful punch. So now I have like a cute little ring. Okay, so that's how I did that. Now I'm going to trim up this little blister pack here. I just want a little bit of an edge because you want something to, you want to glue it to something. So we're going to use that lip. We're not going to cut it all the way to the edge of the circle. We're going to leave like a little lip. I don't know if you guys can see that there. Okay, so that's what we're going to use to glue it down. And I just, throw that out. I just throw that out. Okay, so when I go to put this on, it's the same circle as what I did before. So now the little ring I made, and there's my little shaker box. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add my little elements into my little blister because that's just easier. So remember the little vellum hearts? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to build it up. I may even see. I don't really. Sometimes you don't know if there's too much or too little. So just kind of play by ear. I don't think there's any such thing as too much. So I've got my little vellum hearts in there, and now I'm going to add some micro beads in blush color. The number on this is 962593. So these little tiny beads are so fun. Just be careful you don't spill them all over the place because that's kind of a pain. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle those in. And then I even have some, I don't know if on my original card, yeah, Frank just came out with these new memory hardware remnant fragments, and it's basically like a pack of beads, but you can also get a pack of sequins. So I'll just drop a couple of those in there, pinch those off real nice, just a few. Okay. Yeah. And then last but not least, I'm going to add just a little bit of Prima's art sugar in there. What's lovely about these is you can add just about anything you have. So the number on the art sugar is 961817, and it's just called light pink art sugar. So it's like a pixie dust kind of glitter. But we have micro beads, glass beads, glass glitter, and all kinds of stuff. And you can tell it's really humid because my art sugar just clumped up a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add just a little bit. Now you don't need to use glue. You can use Frank's artisan tape, or you can, whatever you want. Gel medium. But for time's sake, I am just adding a little bit of this. Oh, it's sticking to my fingers. I'm adding it right to the edge, so of course it's being naughty. Okay, now I want to make sure there's no glue that's going to touch anything per se. All right, get it off my finger, and I'm going to flip this over and center it right on that shaker. Okay, now you're going to have to kind of look underneath and make sure it's centered. It looks pretty good from here, but I'm not going to move it around a lot because I want to give the glue a minute to set. If you start shaking it up right away, that's not going to be good because it'll, like, all your little elements inside will get stuck, maybe if some of the glue seeped in. Just let it set for a minute. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to continue building our card. Okay, so I've got this real pretty piece here, and it's got like a gold foil effect in the front. I don't know if you can see that. The camera's catching that. Okay, and it's called Joyful Arrival, and it's 847968. And on the opposite side is just a real light trim, or I'm sorry, not trim, a real light color trio back here with grays and muted pinks and a little bit of script and stuff. So this is like real pretty, and if you go to buy this paper, get 2 sheets. Do yourself a favor, get 2 sheets because you're going to love both sides and you're not going to want to cut into one or the other. So I cut it. This is going to be, this is a standard card size, 5.5 by 4.25. So I cut this piece at 5 inches by 3 3/4 just to fit into the center of the card. And I'm just using watercolor paper, but I would recommend using just like a white cardstock for your card base. I don't have any, so I'm using watercolor paper. It's kind of crazy. I usually do that when I make watercolor cards and stuff. Okay. All right, so we've got that down. And then next, what I did was I took now in the original card, I actually cut out the center of the die and then placed the shaker box underneath it. But I think this time I'm going to put it on top because I think I would like it to be a little bit different than that. So I'm going to add that. Okay, and I'm just putting glue in the center because like I like the ends to kind of curl up just a little bit. And this real pretty blue paper is from this sheet of paper. It's Heaven Sent, and it's called Sweet Lullaby. How cute are these? How cute, huh? And you can cut these guys out, and they're so cute. So I used the back side, just the plain blue side for the die, because the die is kind of delicate, so you didn't want anything real busy. But this is exactly why you want to buy 2. And you can see the gold foil effect on this. It's doing awesome. Okay. So that's what I used for the die cut, and I don't know if you guys remember, this is the Prima die. So this is just the doily die that we use. So make sure you get that at your local store because I think, or order it online, wherever you want, because this I use for tons of things, and I think it's so versatile and so beautiful that it's worth it to invest in. Okay, so now I have also this little saying up here in the corner, and I use some washi stickers. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by washi stickers. So they come in these sheets. I have the same one. And on these sheets, it's foiled, and there's like fun little words. So I decided that I love these little words, and that I want to use, let me see. I'm going to use a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to peel off one of these washi foil. So like it's a washi sticker sheet, right? So there's a little bit of a tape element to it. It is printed on, and I'm going to place it right on this little piece of scrap paper so that this is my little sentiment for the card. Okay. Cute. So I'm going to cut it out. Let's see, where are my scissors? I love that everything's foiled because then it coordinates so well. Okay, now I can't see. You guys never told me that I'd be losing my eyesight in my 40s. I kind of disappointed in that. Okay, so I put it on a piece of paper. You can see just a little bit of, that real sweet little pattern coming through. And then I'm just going to cut a little notch out at the end to make it into like a little flag. Yeah, I never do these perfectly, so don't feel like you have to do them perfectly because that's too much pressure. So I'm going to put that word special there on the top with a little foam tape. Okay. There we go. And I'm just going to put that right here at the top of the card. Okay. All right, so it's coming along. So now I feel like I've probably given this enough time to just kind of set. And look how sweet that is. And I've got all my little elements in there, and they're all moving around. And you can see a little bear and a bunny. They're so cute. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Sorry. To the ends. Okay, not too much. You don't need an awful lot, so don't go too heavy with the glue. And then I'm going to add this guy right here. All right, so you can kind of position it so that it'll hide it. And there's your little shaker element. Kind of fun. Okay, don't get glue on your blister because that would stink. Now, if you don't have punches and stuff, find something circular. You can cut it out. I know it's kind of a pain, but I know you guys pretty well. I know you have a collection of dies or punches and things just like I do, because that's what we do. We collect those things over the years and we use them on our cards and everything. And I think, you know, that's really important to get your tools out and to use them in whatever you want. So I think that's kind of cuter than my original one, because it was an afterthought. Like, I put this one together and I was like, oh, you know what? This would look really cute around the outside. And then I don't have to be as careful either with glue and stuff. Like, that kind of cleans up that edge and hides everything, all the, you know, the lip and everything. So I thought that that was kind of a cool idea. Is everybody doing okay? Because I haven't heard from Delana, so I'm assuming everything looks good, running along pretty well. Okay, and all I did was I took these flowers. They're called Ellie. Again, from the Heaven Sent collection. It's 588-397. And there's 24 that come in the pack. Now, I have way more than 24 flowers in here because I've combined, excuse me, 2 packs. I did that because I like sometimes to have 2 of the same flower, because, you know, Prima in the variety packs will put all different kinds, but sometimes I like to have them the same. I know, that sounds boring, huh? All right, so what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to add a peach color. I think peach would look cute. So I'm going to start building up my clusters. And I'm just going to start putting those flowers there and right along here. You can add the pink or the teal. I mean, it's really all a personal taste. So this is how I start building up my cluster. And then I have these like mini roses, and I've had them in my stash forever. Because I don't know, I like them. These are called our classic roses, and they come on little stems and everything, but any little flower will do. These are the ivory ones. To me, they look like peach. So I don't know how I'm going to get through all these cards, you guys, because I talk too much. All right, so then, you know, you just start building up your cluster. I am removing the green things. You guys, I'll have to tell Frank I did that. I'm removing the little green backs because the green doesn't look good on here. All right, I know, tell him. It's fine with me. Ooh, I actually have 2 flowers down here. Maybe I'll put this one in. Interesting. Maybe pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay. And I can even lift up that die cut a little bit and put that flower underneath it if I want to. And what I love about liquid glue is I can move things around if I want to change my mind. Okay. So you can see the process. Just kind of adding our flowers, adding roses, which are so cute. Anything goes on these. Like you guys know, I do tend to add a lot of flowers. So, and this was kind of the more tedious part than actually making the shakers themselves, because I went from kind of small flowers to little flowers to really teeny tiny flowers. And so the last little flowers I added are these Prima came out with new planter flowers. Well, that's what they're calling them. So you get 100 of these little guys in one package. So you can use in your planners, which everybody's kind of using, but you can use these with your Julie Nutting dolls because they work well. And I like them as fillers. The number on this is 488496, and they're called Lucy. So in this pack, you get a couple variations of the solid colors, but you also get these little white guys that have foil writing on them. I'm just going to spill a couple out so I can show you. So, oops, I got glue on my hand. Everything's flying. So, you know, you can see kind of like that foil effect on some of those little tiny flowers, and there's little tiny beads in the center. Somebody actually spent the time to put little tiny seed beads in the center of every flower. So then I just started sprinkling these around too. Like I said, I like to use these as little fillers, so you can kind of keep building up your cluster. Okay, and that's exactly what I did. So you can see here I've got the smaller flowers, I've got the roses, I've got the little tiny ones throughout, right? And then I added some little leaves, and that's what I did. I even added some Satan crystals down here, and these are also from Heaven Sent. So I'm not going to finish decorating. I think you guys kind of get the idea. You're just going to kind of cluster around your little things. I just really like to focus on the shaker elements, and then at the end, if we have time, we'll finish decorating them. Okay, I hope that's okay. All right, next we'll do one more of these little guys here. Okay, so my next card will be the mini card I made. So I cut out a couple of the 3x4 elements from this 12x12 paper. I didn't actually use the paper pad, but you know, the 3x4 paper pad. So there's this sheet, and you can see there's all kinds of cutouts here, which are pretty adorable. This is called Special Delivery, and it's 847-975. And then the other side is just like this kind of really pretty warm gray. I call it grayish. It's kind of a grayish. All right, so we're gonna use these two cards here, this one and this one. And again, I just use a simple blue piece of scrap paper. Like, look at the inside. Oh my gosh, to die for, right? So it's just the blue. And what I did is I punched out that little, I love that cow and that moon and those little stars, because I just love them. And then I can save this piece for something later. All right, so again, I'm going to use my blister pack here. Oh, there's two of them here. If you guys have questions, let me know. Again, I'm just leaving myself a little bit of room around here. Oh my gosh. I'm just waiting on my glue, sorry. Oh wait, I don't want to do that yet. I want to build my little things in here. So this time I'm going to use some stars, because there's stars on the little die cut here of the little cow. There we go. So I'm just going to sprinkle those in. And then a couple more. There's these cool, like Frank has these, they're called remnants beads, and or regment fragments. These are called crystal stones, and the number on this is 991999. I don't think I gave Delana this info. And there's like a darker kind of metallic bead, and then there's like a clear yellow one. I kind of like this darker metallic one because it matches the brown on the cow. Does that make sense? It's all about matching. I'm just going to drop a couple of these little beads in, because of course anything goes. And like, the thicker your blister pack is, I think the more options you'll have for adding whatever you like. Of course, I'm going to add a couple more sequins. Oh, and make sure, like, if you have a dog or a kitty, just be careful, like, dog hair in there, because that almost happened, and it's no lie. She's shedding like crazy right now, so that's my life right now. I'm going to do another sprinkling of those micro beads, and I think I'm just going to go with the clear glitter, just the Art Sugar clear. Ooh, that's a little bit more than I wanted. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, now, ooh, and be sure that you don't send everything a-flying when you're squeezing your glue bottle. And I'm just going around the edge as carefully as I can. And it's going to stick to my finger. Hot glue, I think, would work for this. Just be careful it doesn't melt your blister pack. Okay, I just got to get my fingers unstuck from that. And I'm going to just center this over this. Okay. And I'm pressing down pretty firm because I want it to be sealed. Like, I don't want these babies flying out. I'm just picking underneath to make sure my little image is right where I want it to be. Hold on a second. I'm holding it up. Okay, it is. Now, remember, you're going to set this aside and let the glue kind of set. And then I'm just going to put this on my card. So, get this done. I don't know. There's something about shaker cards that are just so incredibly sweet. Okay, I'm going to put that there. And then I have this real sweet, I got this little white pom-pom trim from a fabric store. I just collect trims along the way. This isn't a Prima trim. I know we've had something in the past very similar to it. But I like to collect little trims. So I'm going to put this white little trim down here as kind of an edge. And gotta get some glue off my, I need a nice clean line for my glue. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of measure it ahead and say, yeah, about that much. Okay. It's easier to cut it ahead of time before you lay it down, because that can be a pain. Okay. Is everyone doing okay so far? Are you guys talking about hoarding again? I know, we're all hoarders. You know it. Okay, so I've got that there. Oh, you know what? I haven't even been showing you guys the card. I'm so sorry. So then I also have like another little element right here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab another one of the, I think I'm going to choose, this one says sweets. I love using that word. Hey, sweets. But I think maybe celebrate. Want to do celebrate? All right, we'll do celebrate. Again, another just piece of scrap paper I had laying around. I try to line it up with that straight edge so I don't have to cut too much. So I put the sticker down. Oops. I feel like I'm all thumbs today. Oh no, my sticker just, oh, it's okay. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut. I don't know if I'll get a flag out of this one because the E goes right up to the end there. I think, cut, no, not quite cut. Okay, so I'm going to put that there with this other piece of foam tape that I had stuck to my scissors. I'm just going to stick that right down here. It says celebrate. Of course, we all celebrate new babies. All right, so I got that on there so far. And I think this is probably set pretty good. Oh yeah. There we go. There's my cow. There's the moon hiding under all that goodness. You see the hearts in there, and or I mean the stars in there and the beads. How fun that is. And remember, I kind of pre-punched that little circle. So I'm going to add that on right now. Not too much glue, just a tiny bit. And this particular one I punched out has a little bit of writing on it, so you want to, I don't know if it matters. I know I think it does to some people, but you want the writing to be kind of just going the same way as the little cow. And then I'm just going to put my little cow right there in the center of the graphic of the paper because that's so pretty. You know, I love the flowers and the vines going around here, so I thought that would be perfect to kind of frame this whole little thing in. Here we go. And it really sets in there perfectly. So there's the original card. And I put special in this one. And here's the one we just made. Pretty much exact. And if some like kind of stick to the top, don't worry about it. They'll come down eventually. Sometimes it gets a little staticky in here, and you can use like a fabric softener sheet and kind of wipe it inside, and that'll keep like static from happening. So there we go. There's our little mini card. So that's special. Oh, I wanted to show you guys too. I made another variation of this one with a little bird that says welcome. And here I went really kind of, I didn't go crazy with too much of the inside. I just did micro beads and little vellum hearts. But here's another one, another example of how you can use the 3x4 cards to make another one. So that was, let me see. Sorry, I'm looking for it. Here it is. So it's this little card. So I use my circle punch to kind of punch around that part. And I save this part for later for like a sentiment to put on another card. So I can cut this in a strip, the welcome baby, and use it on a card. But this is what I used for this little shaker box, and it worked out perfect. And it says welcome on there. Cool. All right, so next I have, I'm gonna put these away. Oh, here's another packaging idea. So here's her mechanicals. These are called bottle caps also, but they're a different bottle cap, obviously. So let's say I want to dump out those. This is why I always make such a mess. But look at that. Like how cute would these be for like even a shaker ornament? Because these are really kind of thick. I didn't use them on a card because they are so thick. But, you know, this is how you're going to look at packaging in a different way. You're going to save yourself some money, and you can cut around these and put a circle behind it, and then maybe even do trim around this or something to emphasize the petals. So this I wanted to show you guys is another idea from her packaging that you can use for this kind of thing. Because these kind of things here I use all the time. Even this itself can be made into an ornament or a shaker box too. And you can just put like a piece of acetate over the top of this. And there's two stuck together. There we go. So you can punch a circle that will fit in the middle. Put your little stuff in there, and then you can put like a little piece of acetate, and then just like put a little trim around it, and there's an ornament, right? Or a fun little element. This can go on a card as well. So just something to think about. Just wanted to point that out to you. Another shaker card idea. As I'm taking apart all my packaging. This is how I make giant messes every show. Okay, so next we're going to do the little deer card. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. So this is like a rectangular piece. So have you ever purchased her packs of brads or jump rings, or some of her mechanicals like with the screw tops or any of those? Behind in the packaging behind the brads are these little pieces that keep the brads in place, so that when you go to buy them, they look pretty because they stay in place. When you open the packaging, there's this sheet of pieces behind it. Here's actually one I have that's like an entire piece. So I think these were behind some of her screw heads. So this is a separate piece from the packaging, and this you could easily save. It's not very deep, but deep enough where you could still use this as a shaker element. Okay. So this one here I got out of her brads. Like she had a package of brads, and that's what I used for this one as well. Kind of cool, huh? All right, so sorry, I'm just gonna move some stuff out of the way. So here I have the piece already. So I have another piece here already. I am probably, well, is this one thinner? That's the thing too. They do vary in depth too. Okay. So what I'm going to do is grab this is like probably my favorite card out of the whole pack. Let me see. Where are you, baby deer? Where is, oh my gosh. Ah, There he is. Look at that. Dream big, little one. Oh, so cute. Okay. Actually, yeah, I already have one out. I thought so. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit trickier. I don't have as much of a lip, and I kind of know what I need to do. So before I build the shaker inside part, I am going to get this exactly where I want it and center it. And then I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to draw around the whole thing. Oops. And I'm not too concerned about this really weird rough edge, because on the original card you can see I used some of that really pretty white trim around it just to clean up the edges a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to make sure that I just kind of do a rough drawing of where the packaging was, okay? Start adding all my fun stuff. There's some stars, vellum stars. I think I could probably add some more of those real pretty shiny beads again. Oh, probably too many. No, I just took out 2. Wow, that made a big difference. Good job. Just kidding. I'm going to add the pink blush micro beads again. Now this one's a little bit of a taller one, so you can be more generous. Like the bigger your shaker box is, the more generous you can be with, you know, whatever it is you want to add in here. So I'm going to add a little art sugar. And then a couple of the sequins, Frank's sequins. These are called vintage gold, so I actually really love that. I think there is one that's more rosy gold, and I probably should have used that to match the paper line, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I've got my little. I'm going to be very careful. And now I'm going to kind of cut around this weird, funky edge. Okay, perfect. Now, this is going to be even trickier. I'm going to glue this on here first, okay? And then I'm going to take the rectangle, oh, cute bunny, and I'm going to glue it onto that again. And then I'm going to make sure it's really sealed really, really well, okay? But first, I've got to get this, this edge and make sure. Now, you can use tape. Frank's Artisan tape works great. Like I said before, like I just needed to kind of not fuss with tape too much while I was doing this. And this probably isn't the best glue to use because it is pretty messy, but you know what? It worked. It worked great. It's just messier, and glossy accents would actually work really well. Anna's sculpture medium would work really well. Something like that. So I just want to make sure I get it all around the edges. And I'm going to lay this on here. Hopefully I've got it lined up with exactly the same. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to kind of press that. I'm going to use my finger just to kind of work the glue into the edges real good. And I am pressing down. Okay. So some of it did seep out a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to just leave this alone for a sec. Like I said, let the glue set. You just don't want to start working on it too quickly, because if the glue does seep into the inside of your into your box, it's going to grab some of those elements and they're going to be stuck there forever, right? That's why liquid glue is probably not the best thing to use, but if you've got a little patience and you're doing it like I am, just setting it aside and letting it set, you'll be okay. If you don't trust yourself, you know, use tape. All right, so I've got that as my background. I love this polka dot paper. Let me see if I can find it here. Look at this. Oh, so this is called Heaven Sent, and it's 847-951, and it's got little babies and some rose gold foil effect, and then the back is this polka dots. Who doesn't love polka dots? And polka dots for baby? Yes. You know what, you guys, just pay attention to the packaging that you see on the stuff you normally buy. I'm telling you right now, you will be so happy that you did, and you know that you saved these little things. I'm just gonna, for time's sake, you guys, I'm just gonna move on. So I think it's good enough. So I'm gonna glue this rectangular piece down. This piece is it's about 2.5 by 4. And I just kind of judged it based on my shaker box. That's how I came up with that number. So it's just real pretty. Oh, nice. So now I'm going to just put that right there. Okay, so I still have some glue kind of seeping out here, right? And this is not looking all that pretty, but don't worry, because trim fixes everything. It does. That's why trims are handy. You could even use yarn, lace, oops, that's the wrong one. Anything you like. So now I'm just going to glue this around it, and that's going to hide all that weird, ugly edge that I had. That was the purpose of the trim. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go around, just put a little lip of glue here. I'm going to start at a corner where I know there's going to be flowers. And I'm not going to pull this too tight, and I'll tell you why. Because there are some corners that are not that perfect. Like corners of the packaging that I use, right? So don't pull it too tight. Plus remember, everything can be hidden with embellishments. Flowers, like Prima flowers. I think I should have cut off one more pom-pom. Okay. There we go. So now I'm just going to kind of lay this down. Lay it on its side. You know, you can test different things that you have laying around to see if that'll hide the edge really well. But see, you really don't see too much else, and all that stuff is rolling around there. It's so cute. If you, this is Dream Big Little One. Okay, so then all I did was start adding those flowers and everything to the corners, which I think I can do. Do you guys want me to go ahead and decorate with the flowers? Do you need me to, oops, do that? It's Mildred being funny. She's saying funny stuff. She's a funny lady. She has some good ones. All right. So let's see here. So again, I'm just going to kind of add these real pretty flowers, those Ellie flowers. They're called Ellie. And start building up my cluster. And I got about 4 mini roses on here. I'm ripping off all those green things. Do you guys have any questions so far? Oh my gosh. I should see the glue. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I just messed stuff up here. Usually I have my light anchored down, so if I hit it, it doesn't do anything weird. Again, just adding these little mini roses around. And that's where you just kind of start to cover those up. Do you all have some ball trim? Oh, secret of clusters? Okay. So let's do this up then, okay? And what I did so far is I added those Ellie flowers, they're called Ellie, and then I added a couple of those little roses around, right? So far we're off to a great start. Next, I'm going to add some leafy greenery. This is a memory box die that I used with watercolor paper. I believe it's called Foliage. And I just took my watercolor confections and I painted them green with my water brush and the green in the Decadent die set. So what I especially love about these is that I feel like they're kind of the right size for something really small like this. So, and I did go kind of miniature on these cards with these flowers and stuff. So I like to cut them apart, and I feel like I can add my, oh sorry, my glue is, okay, yeah. So in my classes, when I tell people to cluster their flowers, you always want to start with your largest flower, go to your medium, go to your smallest. Normally I tell everybody to add the leaves last, but the little tiny mini flowers that I used for this card, I think of more as embellishments than part of the cluster. You know what, I gotta cut that down. Sorry. And I'll show you why. I use the little tiny planter flowers more as fillers because they are just so tiny and cute. Okay, so I'm just putting some leaves around it. Can you guys see okay? If not, Delana, tell me. I don't know. I don't think you've texted me. Poor Delana. She's like still in her wedding coma. Probably. I'm guessing. I think she's probably fine. She can bounce back, but I know it's a lot of work for her. A lot. Okay, so I'm just tucking these leaves underneath. This is why I add glue to the center backs of the flowers, is so that I can go through and just tuck things in under the flowers, because you kind of want them all touching, right? Okay, so we've got this flower, our roses, and now I've just added our little leaves. Next, we're going to add those cute little, Prima planter flowers I was talking about. These are the colors called Lucy. So I'll sprinkle these out, and sometimes what I like to do is stick with one color, meaning there's 3 colors in this one pack. So sometimes I'll work with one color at a time. So right now I'm using with the white with the foil writing on them, and I'm just kind of placing those around, and I'm just putting a little glue on them from my bottle of glue here. I think I want 3 of these foils. Okay, now I'm going to go to the lightest pink in this pack. No, I'll go to the darker pink. Hold on, I just gotta get a little glue at the tip of my nozzle. I use a lot of glue. Okay. So next this is where I fill in spots where I see there might be need a little something around here. Sometimes this is what I mean by filler. Like, this is exactly what I mean by filler. Okay, now I can move to the real light color and stick those down. And think I'm going to tuck it in right here. Okay, I'm going to hold it up for you guys to see. So I hope that's making sense. See where I put those little guys? See where they're kind of like little fillers right now? You see that? Okay. And then last but not least, if I can find them, are my Heaven Sent Satan crystals. So the Heaven Sent Satan crystals are kind of shiny. They're faceted. They've got a little touch of gold glitter at the top. I don't know if you can see that. So what I did is I took some of the pink ones. Make sure you get a little bit of that glue that it's supposed to stick to. And I'm just sprinkling those around. And I like to just kind of, they just added a little bit more, it needed just a little bit more pink. I like the way Delana says pink. She says, I like the way she says it, pink. I'm not even going to try to copy her. And then I just added those. And then it's done. So pretty close to the first one I made, right? So that's how I do it. Okay. We're at 3:03, I think. Well, 3:03 my time. I'm on the East Coast. So I would really, really like to show you the last card I did. And I know I didn't have it in the plans, but I think it's going to be even more economical for some of you that may not have circle punches, like the punches like I have. And it's this card right here, and I'll just kind of go over it real quick with you. I know it's glared. See that? And then that's the card. So I made a window. Okay, so that's what I want to show you next, and I hope that's okay. Is that okay? Now, I'm really going old school here. What I did is I grabbed my, do you guys have this? It's my Creative Memories circle die that I've had for like 12 years. That's how I got started in scrapbooking, by the way, and I just wanted to show you guys what I use. So I measured out a piece of paper that's 5 by 3 3/4, and that's going to go onto my card front. So what I did is I took my circle cutter and I did my thing, and then I put it on the top of the card, and I took a pencil and I drew a line where the circle was, and then when it was time to do the circle on this one, I just used my circle cutter. Okay, but I'm sure you guys have punches, dies. You could do a heart, you could do a star. I mean, I know there's so many possibilities, right? But I just kind of wanted to show you what I did. Now, also, you know what you could do is you could take anything circular like this, and you can trace around it and then cut it out if you want to, you know, but that's another thing. So I think circles are just kind of easy. All right. So next what I did is I took a piece of acetate left over from Prima Packaging. Okay. Now, there are little annoying holes like up here where they hang the product from. I call them annoying because sometimes my stuff falls out. So what I'm going to do is just cut this bottom corner off with my trimmer. And I kind of use the circle to say how big, like I put the circle over the piece and I say, okay, yeah, I'll cut it to here. Okay, so there's the bottom of the packaging. I'm not too concerned about this one flap that's there. It's the original flappy piece. I can actually cut that off so I can't see it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see where my scissors are. I can cut that off because that's kind of ugly. Okay. And then I can use Frank's Artisan tape and just fill in that hole. But first I got to cut it again because I know I don't need that big of a piece. So I'm actually cutting a square. Yes, I know this seems like tedious work, but it's not. Okay, so It's connected at just one end. That's not a problem. I know it's probably hard to see, guys. I apologize. But I'm going to make my pocket. So I've got some of that artisan tape, which is really, really good. Okay, and I'm just going to put that artisan tape right here at the ends. And I'm going to go ahead and seal that. So I'm making my own pocket. Now I know too, you guys probably have the fuse tool in your stash, huh? Yeah, you can use the fuse tool too. I've seen people do that, but this is like on a budget. This is shaker cards on a budget. Okay, this time we don't have special fancy tools. So now I just made a pocket. So now I'm going to add all kinds of fun stuff inside, just like we've been doing. And remember, this is a deeper pocket, right? So what does that mean? Well, I'm kind of doing some of the thinking ahead of time for you guys. So you want to probably add a little bit more than you normally do because it's gonna, oh, sorry, I got it turned around. So remember, like it's not, oh, this one's actually pretty good, but let's say your pocket's a little deeper than you want it to be. Just make sure you account for that, because if it's deeper on this side, like here, then you're going to want to add a little bit more so that some of it shows in your card, okay? I hope that made sense. I don't know if it did. I don't really know. Okay, so, and I'll just tell you right now too, I kind of went a little too, I didn't go wide enough on this. So I can see my tape marks. And that's very annoying. That's highly annoying. Okay, and I'm going to add some. I don't really know if I want to add micro beads because I don't really need to. Okay. Now I'm going to add the tape to the top and seal it off. Now you can't really get this back open because the sides are done and this opening here. But what you can do is you can maybe just fold it over a tiny bit, or you can put the tape right on the edge of the acetate, like so. Let's see if I can do this. And then fold it over. So you're kind of making a, sealing it, but like with a fold over seal. So I'm just going to put, I don't know if that, so I'm going to put the tape halfway, right at the top, like that. See how the tape is like kind of hanging over? Peel it off, and then fold the tape down. So it just kind of sealed the edge. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a shaker piece. Okay. So now all I gotta do is glue or tape. No, I'm not gonna do that. No. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Remember the piece behind here? Okay, that's what I'm gonna glue it to. Okay, or you can even use the tape. So I can put the tape here on all sides of the circle. Sorry, I'm off camera. I love that I can rip his tape. And that's surely not a sign that it's not very strong, because it definitely is. But I love that I don't have to keep cutting it because I'm lazy. Sorry, it's just taking a moment. And then I can get that right on there. So voila, there is your acetate piece for the front. Pretty cool. Now remember the little circles that I had cut out earlier too? Like you can even frame it in again if you want to. Remember those little punches, the holes I made? So if you wanted to like clean up the edge a little bit, you could do that. All right, so now I'm going to add my foam squares to the back of the paper. Oops, two of them stuck down here. And do another one right here. So there we go. And now, excuse my head if it's in the way, because I just have to make sure I line it up in my circle. Yep. There. So it's kind of raised, right? And it's just to make up for that element you have behind it. When you open the card, you don't see it. Okay. And I think I might, I thought I had extra pieces. So now, hold on guys. Where's that little, I think what I could do is take a piece from this 3x4 pad. And what color do I want on it? I think I want pink on the inside. I know I have to cover up the little cute little bunny with the little old-fashioned camera, but that's okay. I've got more. What's cool about this paper pad is you get multiples of something, right? Oh, actually, I just thought of something. That was really, that I shouldn't have done that. Because you know why, guys? You could actually take a card like that. That was really stupid. Just learn from my mistakes, okay? I may not be all with it. But you could put that card behind the window and have that bunny showing through. So there could be a little bunny peeking out like that. But I didn't do that. I chose to put the pink, and I shouldn't have. So let me redo this. Thanks for putting up with me. Oh, here is one. How about this one with the cute little, and then we can have him peeking out. Oh, yes, that's what we're going to do. Oh, I feel bad. I put glue on that bunny. Sometimes I just get working and I don't think about things right. All right, I'm just putting glue on this if it ever decides to cooperate. There we go. So you don't have to cut anything out. And what I like about liquid glue too is you can kind of push this around. So if it's off just by like a hair, just move it down a little bit. And there you go. Oh, isn't that cute? You think this is your favorite one? It is very cute. And then like the original one, I didn't use a card. I used actually a cutout from the ephemera pack. Like it comes with an ephemera pack, and it has vellum pieces, and so this says "Oh Baby," and I glued it down to like a little strip, and then I took another piece from the ephemera pack and put them on the inside so you can see them through the window. And then I just kind of took some of those little hearts, cut them out in white cardstock or white paper, and put those around the window with some sequins and just kind of glued them around to make it look like it's still going. And then I have a couple down here. So, and I just used a little paper strip here with a little flag. I just cut out the end. And there's my card. So now I have a new one. And let's see. Come on, move around, stuff. I think I did it a little too tight. You want to make sure you leave yourself a little room so it does work. And now I can put like a blue paper strip here. Let's see what I have. If I have anything blue, because I want to use blue because that's what's on the bunny. So, but you guys kind of get the idea, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. These confetti dies, I kind of looked at them and I went, meh. But then I was like, oh no, these are awesome. Like, I need some. So you'll just put a strip here. I really need these, and I need to use these. I need to use my shaker cards and all my beads and my glitter and everything to make it look super fun, right? So you know, that was really how I honestly felt when I first saw them. But and now I'm in like, I'm addicted and I'm in love. All right. So again, just make sure you tell your favorite stores, you know, that you want to grab some of these, because you know, making little confetti pieces can be easier. Um, and you know, you can just use all your scrap pieces and you know, make some fun stuff with it. So I know I adore the confetti dies too. You want the paper? Oh, I know. I knew you'd want the paper, Randy. I knew you would. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me today on a beautiful summery day. And I know we're all inside watching craft projects, but I really think that you know, it's sometimes we just need to take a break from the day and get inspired. And we do appreciate it when you join us on Tuesday afternoons to hang with us. And I know all my friends in Europe and beyond are happy to have these classes, because they're a better time, you know, for them to enjoy and watch on during the day. So thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to end the show right now. Be sure to tune in on Thursday night. We have Tiffany Solorio joining us with a beautiful layout she's going to create for us. And then we also have, I'm going to have all the classes for August posted on livewithprima.com. So if you want to visit there and see what we have coming up on the schedule for August, I've got to send those in. I know I'm late, but I'm going to send that over to our web guy. And don't forget about Art Venture. I'm going to be teaching. Can you believe it? Yay. If you think I'm fun during Live with Prima shows, you have no idea how I am in person. It's even crazier and even more fun. So if you want to check out what Art Venture is all about, please visit primamarketinginc.com. Click on the Art Venture tab and it'll take you to a registration page. Just go ahead and register, even if you're like not sure you're going to go, because that's where you're going to find the pricing, the payments, the info, and who's teaching and all that jazz. So, or you can even just email Denny at primamarketinginc.com, and ask him some questions too. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the flip side, on the chat side, Thursday night. Okay. Thank you so much for coming.